Hey everyone, this is Dan Sombrano, and today I'm going to show you a few footwork drills that you can do that's going to help you, especially if you're fighting in the street. So stay tuned and check it out. Alright guys, the first drill I want to show you is to teach you how to push off with the big toe. A lot of guys will push off with the ball of the foot, you know, when they're fighting, moving around, which is fine and everything, but to get more or maximum effort and power, you want to also add the big toe to help you push off when you're moving, okay? And so basically what you're going to do is, depending on which direction you want to go, you know, you're going to push off on that way, but you use the added benefit of the big toe, because the big toe is the strongest toe than all the other ones, okay? So when you push off that one, it's going to give you that little extra movement as you go to the left, to the right, or whichever direction you want to leave, okay? And it'll give you a little extra burst of power when you move, okay? So all you got to do is, depending on which way you're going to move, you just align your foot in that direction, and just the last thing you're going to push off is with the big toe. When you do that, it extends your range, okay, when you're going to move, and it's going to get you more explosive, okay? So if you're going to the right, my right, I'm going to push off, I'm going to turn my foot towards that direction, and as I push off with the ball of my foot, as I come up, the toe, the big toe, will be on the ground pushing, and it'll get me going, okay? So either you go forward, you can go forward. If you turn, you can go to the left or to you know, whichever direction you want to go. But the key thing is, once the ball of foot hits the ground, you drive yourself with the big toe and push yourself that way. You can develop the strength in that big toe by doing calf raises. If you go to the gym, or if you're at home, you get a block and stand on it and put hold the dumbbells or barbell, you know, on your shoulders, and force yourself to push off up and down on the big toe. If you don't have that, you can still do it, you know, standing on the ground and just pushing on the big toe. Just keep pushing up and strengthening that big toe, so that when you have to move, you can just explode off of that the floor with pushing off with the big toe. Okay, it's really important to learn to push off with your big toe. Yes, you can push off with the ball of the foot, but if you're flat-footed fighting, because usually what you want to do is when you're fighting in the street, you want to stay more flat-footed, okay, because you don't know how the ground's going to be, especially if you're in the dark. It could be cracks, could be bottles, could be anything on the ground, and if you're too high off the balls of your foot, you're going to start sliding and everything and twist your ankle, okay? So the best thing to do is stay lower to the ground, almost flat-footed, and the big toe is going to come in handy when you do that, okay? So again, pushing off with the big toe in the direction you want to move, okay? It's going to give you a lot of power and a lot of range and explosiveness if you start learning how to develop that power in your big toe, all right? So try that, and like I said, you can do it, you know, 2 or 3 times. Whenever you're doing your footwork, you can do it 2 or 3 times a week if you want, for a few, you know, 1 or 2 rounds of 2 or 3 minutes, and just get used to pushing yourself off the big toe, different directions. As you start doing that, you're going to start getting more and more stronger, being able to explode in any direction you want to go off of that big toe, all right? So try it and see what you think. All right, the next thing I want to teach you guys is when you pivot, okay? When you're pivoting and you're turning, a lot of times, you know, because of the adrenaline rush, or you're fighting and it's a lot of pressure going on you, people have a tendency when they cut and drop the foot, they hit with the blade of the foot, and then they try to pivot or twist or turn or move, you know. And the problem with that is if you step on it wrong, you tend to roll your ankle. You know, you don't want to do that, especially when you're stepping out. You roll your ankle, you're going to twist, you're going to end up falling to the left or to the right, depending on which way you're going to go. So it's real dangerous at that point, because the guy's going to just get on top of you and start banging on you, or just stand there and start stomping on you, okay? So you don't want that to happen. So the thing is, you want to be able to step off without worrying about rolling the ankle, okay? And I'm going to show you an exercise or a technique that works really well in stopping you from doing that. All right, what I want you to do, guys, when you step out in whatever direction you want to go, as soon as you step out and place that foot on the ground, okay, because you're going to put the foot on the ground, you're going to turn, and you're going to drive in the direction you want to go. What you want to do is, as that foot touches the ground, lift the big toe up. Lift the big toe up, okay? The other toes just stay low, down, touching the ground, but the big toe comes up. As soon as you do that, what you're going to find is your ankle will stabilize solidly. So it becomes one with your foot and your shin. Okay? So it doesn't move. It becomes solid. And when it becomes solid, it will not roll and it will not, sprain your ankle. It'll be solid and hard. Okay? So once I step, my ankle ain't going to roll. All the way it can come on it, and it's not going to go anywhere. Okay? It becomes solid, like as if I had a cast on it. Now, once I do that, as I pivot, what I want to do is once I pivoted and I'm going to drive in the direction I want to go, then I push my big toe down, like I did at the beginning, and I take off. Okay? So you're going to raise the big toe, pivot, and as you go, drop the big toe down and push off on the ground with the big toe and have you driving. Just like at the beginning of the video, like I just showed you, just driving out the big toe, you're going to combine both the pivot and the driving of the big toe together to help you move. Okay? So again, you're going to step out, whichever direction you want to go. As you step out, right as the foot touches the ground, you lift that big toe up. That will keep your foot from rolling. You pivot and you drive by pushing up with the big toe in the direction you want to go. When you do this, you're going to be more powerful and you're going to be very quick when you're moving. Now, you have to understand, guys, a lot of people are slow sometimes when they're moving, and especially when they're hitting angles and pivoting. And the reason why is because your body has to stabilize first before it can go. If it doesn't do that, it knows it's going to hurt itself. Okay? So it trains itself to first get stable. If it knows that it can be stable, it will pivot quicker and it will drive off faster. Okay? But if it knows it can't, it will have to first stabilize, and then when it's safe and it's sure that it will not tip over, it will pivot and drive. That's too slow. So when you lift the big toe off the ground, as you step, pivot and go, it will go faster because it knows instantly that it's stable because of the way that you've structured your body when you lifted that big toe. Okay? And you'll get a lot faster, more explosive, and more powerful when you're moving. Especially when you're moving into the individual to strike them with the elbow, knee, or whatever punch, whatever you're going to use to attack the individual. Okay? In a street fight, this works really well, and it makes you very explosive and very dangerous when you're fighting somebody. And your footwork will get really well, or really good when you're moving. Okay? And you won't have to worry about tripping, overextending yourself, bending over or rolling your ankle, twisting something, or being unstable, because you will stay really stable on your feet when you're moving. Okay? And especially if you start moving flat-footed. When you do that, especially in a street fight, you're going to be a very dangerous fighter. Okay? So try these two tips, put them together. If you want, you can separate them. You can just step to the left or right on the blade of the foot, raise that big toe, and turn. All right? Step and just turn. Step, pivot, and move. And without putting the foot down, with the big toe on the ground. Okay? Just step, pivot, and move. You can try that out so you can see how your ankle gets very tight and very, very solid, so it doesn't wiggle and doesn't have any room to wiggle because it's very solid. Okay? And you're going to learn that this helps you when you move at a quick rate and very explosive. Okay? Then work with just pushing off with the big toe in any direction you want to go. Drive out with the big toe, push the four toes on the ground, and use that big toe to extend yourself and drive. Okay? Train those separate, and then when you get comfortable with either one or both, bring them together and step and pivot with raising the toe, turn, put the toe down, and drive. And as you do that and get comfortable with that, after a while, it'll just become one movement, and you're going to get a lot explosive and a lot dangerous when you're fighting in the street. All right? So try these two things and see how it works for you. All right, guys, this is the end of the video, and I hope that these two things that I've taught you today are going to go a long way in helping you when you're fighting. Okay? Again, leave comments, subscribe to my my website, okay, and to my channel on YouTube, and check it out. Try these movements, see how they work for you. If you have any questions or something's coming up that you're not getting right, just put it in the comments. Let me know, and I'll get back with you and help you with that answer. Okay? So until next time, this is Daniel Serrano saying, don't just hit them, punch a hole through them. All right, guys? Take care, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.